Yeah, what up? It's me, your boy. Puck's here. Boop on the snoot. Preemptive boops. We're hanging out. This stream... He knows. This stream will actually be considerably shorter, hopefully, than the last one we did, because the last one we covered a lot of history. So now we're going to talk about a little bit what had happened back in 2017 when this sort of started, and we're going to go and jump forward to what's going on now, and then we're going to kind of look at a little bit of a comparison. So let's get started. This is J.K. Rowling defends the casting of Johnny Depp in Fantastic Beasts, and this is from December, right here, December 2017, December 7th. So, J.K. Rowling has defended the decisions to have the decision to have Johnny Depp in the new Fantastic Beasts movie, despite allegations of domestic violence that were levied against the star. On her official site, the author said she and the film's producers were concerned by the stories in the press about Depp and acknowledged fans' concerns, but stood by their casting decision. On Twitter, Rowling linked to her blog post and said, quote, "I'm saying what I can about the Grindelwald casting issue." Depp was accused of domestic violence during his divorce from Amber Heard, which was settled in January. So if it was settled in January, this was written in December of that same year, I'm assuming. He denied the allegations, and at the time of settlement, the couple issued a statement saying, quote, "There was never any intent of physical or emotional harm," end quote. It's okay, we can wait. We can wait. It's okay. It's coming. Come on. Could you? You've betrayed us all. Okay, are we back? Are we good? Maybe we're good. I will wait a couple seconds to see if it stays. the lovely technological problems of streaming. Interestingly, or something amusing, is that this actually has nothing to do with me. It's entirely just OBS deciding it doesn't feel like existing today. Oh no, I'm gonna say something terrible while it's glitching, and I'm gonna be caught out being racist or something. Because I called my dog black. I'm kidding. I love my doggo. Boop. Oh, I missed. He douged me. Rude. Alright, so it looks like we're back. Hopefully we're back. I think we're good. Okay. Rowling, who wrote the screenplays for the two films, often interacts with fans on social media and went public Thursday with her thoughts on Depp after allegedly previously blocking a follower who had questioned her about his casting. Hey, people in this... that sounds dumb. Who cares if she blocked somebody? Whatever. She said she and the producers had considered ditching the actor but decided against it. Quote, "Harry Potter fans had legitimate questions and concerns about our choice to continue with Johnny Depp in the role," end quote. She said, quote, "As David Yates, longtime Potter director, has already said, we naturally considered the possibility of recasting. I understand why some have been confused and angry about why that didn't happen," end quote. She added that she has wanted to address the issue with fans, but only felt able to do so now. Quote, "The huge, mutually supportive community that has grown up around Harry Potter is one of the greatest joys of my life. For me personally, the inability to speak openly to fans about this issue has been difficult, frustrating, and at times painful. However, the agreements that have been put in place to protect the privacy of the two people, Depp and Heard, both of whom have expressed a desire to get on with their lives, must be respected. Based on our understanding of the circumstances, the filmmakers and I are not only comfortable sticking with our original casting, but genuinely happy to have Johnny playing a major character in the movies," end quote. Rowling said she understood that some fans would still not be happy with Depp's inclusion. Quote, "I accept that there will be those who are not satisfied with our choice of actor in the title role. However, conscience isn't governable by committee." I mean, that's fair. Within the fictional world and outside of it, we all have to do what we believe is the right thing, end quote. Warner Bros. Also defended the decision to stick by Depp, noting that it took seriously the complexity of the issues involved. The studio said Thursday, quote, "This matter has been jointly addressed by both parties in a statement in which they said, quote, there was never any intent of physical or emotional harm, end quote. Based on the circumstances and the information available to us, we, along with the filmmakers, continue to support the decision to proceed with Johnny Depp in the role of Grindelwald in this and future films." David Yates, the director of the upcoming installment in the Wizarding World franchise, and producer David Heyman echoed Rowling's and Warner Brothers' sentiments in their own statements. Yates had previously spoken publicly in Depp's defense and said that in his experience the actor was quote, "full of decency and kindness," end quote. Quote, "None of us involved in Fantastic Beasts would ever let our appreciation of talent obscure other far more important considerations," end quote. Yates and Heyman said in a joint statement, quote, "We recognize the magnitude of the issues raised and understood the strength of feelings expressed. We hoped and strived at all times to be sensitive to both parties. We stand by our decision to have Johnny in the films." So please keep in mind, from what we covered yesterday, that Depp now has been removed from Fantastic Beasts, which is Warner Brothers, and Amber Heard has not been removed from Aquaman, which is also being produced by Warner Brothers. So that's where we're at with that. This was December. This was December of 2017. Oh, sorry. Yes, December 7th of 2017. Some of the comments... Do we have the comments? We do. Okay. Seems Heard doesn't quite agree with Rowling and WB's cherry-picking of their joint statements and seems very adamant that some abuse did happen according to this. This is a far cry from what the people in here have been saying about Heard claiming no abuse had happened. She was arrested for domestic abuse against Tassia Van Ree and pleaded guilty to falsifying documents in Australia. She has zero credibility. You mean this woman? Yeah, that never happened according to the alleged victim. That's not what... It doesn't say it never happened. It said that it was sensationalized and blown out of proportion, not that it didn't happen. We covered that yesterday. I think Johnny Depp brings an amazing talent to the screen each time he takes one on. He and Amber both stated that they were done and wanted to move forward. I think we need to respect that. Plus, a celebrity's personal life really isn't something I pay attention to. I pay them to entertain me. I don't particularly pay attention what they do in real life. I think that starts graying lines eventually when you get to things that are a little bit more extreme, like, physical abuse. There does come a line where you need to take a step back and realize that listen, you might have a lot of talent, but that's not good enough if you're, like, the worst kind of person. Your talent shouldn't carry you through life and allow you to do whatever the hell you feel like you think you want to do, because that's kind of bullshit. Alright, next article. Johnny Depp is forced to exit Fantastic Beasts franchise, and this is November 6, 2020. So, Johnny Depp will no longer portray the Dark Wizard, Gellert Grindelwald, in the Fantastic Beasts film franchise, according the actor announced Friday. Yes, Puck, I see you. Do you want to come back on the bed? Do you want this? Have a treat. Look at that nose. Come over here. High five. Ah, yeah, here you go. There's a good boy. All right. Thanks, bud. Like and subscribe. Okay. quote, I wish to let you know that I have been asked to resign by Warner Brothers from my role as Grindelwald in Fantastic Beasts, and I have respected and agreed to that request, he wrote Friday on Instagram. Depp's exit from the Harry Potter spin-off series comes days after he lost his libel case against The Sun, a British tabloid that published an article in 2018 alleged he was a wife-beater. Depp said he plans to appeal the ruling. Warner Bros. Confirmed Depp's departure and announced his role will be recast before the third installment opens in theaters. So Warner Brothers is like, yo, we're gonna stick with this guy for this film and for future films, because that was when the second one came out. And so now the third one came, they didn't even last one movie. And they were like, this... Warner Brothers confirmed Depp's departure and announced that his role will be recast for the third installment opens in theaters. The studio also pushed back the release date for the upcoming entry, which was originally set for November 2021, will now be premiere in the summer of 2022. Quote, Johnny Depp will depart the Fantastic Beasts franchise. We thank Johnny for his work on the film to date. A Warner Brothers spokesperson said Fantastic Beasts 3 is currently in production, and the role of Gellert Grindelwald will be recast. The film will debut in theaters worldwide in summer of 2020, end quote. No hard feelings as we keep the woman who punched you in the face hired, but... You okay? No hard feelings, bro. Fuck. Damn it, Warner Brothers. Why are you doing this? The prequel series set decades before the adventures of everyone's favorite bisexual boy wizard. Is intended to be a 5-film franchise. Depp, who briefly appeared at the end of 2016's Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Him, returned in a more prominent role for 2018's Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald. Depp's casting has been controversial from the start due to domestic violence allegations that his ex-wife Amber Heard leveled against the star. Despite public outcry from fans, author J.K. Rowling and Warner Brothers vehemently defended the decision to stick with Depp at the time. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them was commercially successful, generating more than $800 million at the global box office, yet the series appears to already be experiencing diminishing returns. The sequel grossed $654 million worldwide, the lowest ticket sales for the movie based on a Rowling wizard lore. In Friday's statement, Depp thanked fans for their support and loyalty. Quote, I have been humbled and moved by your messages, love, and concern, particularly over the last few days, end quote. He said, quote, the surreal judgment of the court in the UK will not change my fight to tell the truth, and I confirm that I plan to appeal, end quote. He concluded, my resolve remains strong, and I intend to prove that the allegations against me are false. My life and career will not be defined by this moment in time. And that's from this that we read yesterday. And so down here we have a couple more of the comments. I think it's a big mistake to make Johnny Depp exit. It won't be good with another your loss. I won't watch it if he's not in. What gets me is whether Johnny is guilty or not. Are all the people of Warner Brothers fucking saints? I'm sure without a doubt that there are women slappers, dog smackers, cat kickers, kid spankers, wife cheaters, or some sort of wickedness among Warner Brothers, or Disney, or any organization. Church people are no saints either. So the rest of you better be atoning for your sins as well. I'm not condoning any bad behavior. However, cast or recast or whatever, let us Harry Potter fans enjoy a freaking series that we damn well looked forward to. And to Johnny and Amber, what the fuck? Can't you be rich and famous and stay out of trouble? I wish Warner Brothers would run the freaking major sports organization so none of the other members could do anything wrong or immoral. In fact, why don't you guys run for office and drain the swamp? Have fun, peeps, cause I don't care what your answers are. I don't have time to care, nor the energy to bother with multiple replies and arguments. Maybe someone else will have a good time with the topic. This person was angry. Oh my god. Yeah, being rich or famous has nothing to do with whether or not you have problems. It might ease some problems or makes your problems different. It might mean that you don't have the same kind of problems or do you have to deal with things in a completely different manner, but that does not mean you don't have problems. So there's that. On the other hand, it makes no sense to me that Warner Brothers is getting rid of Johnny Depp but keeping Amber Heard, because that's still Warner Brothers. And one of them is saying, I didn't do anything, and the other one is saying he did something, but I also hit him in the face. I'll never watch Fantastic Beasts 3. They shouldn't do this to Depp, sad face. Amber Heard should be in jail after this. Johnny Depp is innocent. Looked into why the courts ruled the way they did. Look at what has been proven Amber has done. Which is what we were doing yesterday, and we'll be doing the rest of the court cases. We'll actually be looking at the court cases next time. So we also have one more that I found. So this is a Hollywood Reporter. I found this one just today because I was looking for what J.K. Rowling may have said, because that was what Warner Brothers had said. We haven't heard too much from J.K. Rowling. So, behind Warner Brothers' decision to sever ties with Johnny Depp. The studio will be on the hook for the star's full salary. So if you feel bad for him, he's still getting paid. So there's that. He's got that going for him. Even though he had shot one scene since production began on September 20th in London. On November 5th, the London crew of Warner Brothers' untitled third Fantastic Beasts film were notified by the studio of a move that came as a surprise. Johnny Depp had been pulled from the shooting schedule. The studio's film chief, Toby Emmerich, had made the decision the previous day to sever ties with the star who was reprising his role as Dark Wizard Gellert Grindelwald in the 5-film franchise. So he's still going to get paid for this film, but there were 2 other films that he will not be working in, presumably, unless something changes. As of right now, that might change. I think Warner Brothers is getting quite a bit of pushback, and I think people are gonna there seems to be a boycott on this movie, but also on Warner Brothers in general, and I think people I've seen petitions going out to get Amber Heard removed from Aquaman and stuff, so there's that, which is interesting. This call was prompted by a UK judge dismissing Depp's defamation case in a closely watched trial that pitted the actor against the publisher of The Sun after the British tabloid referred to Depp as a wife-beater. The judge's ruling makes it a lot easier for news outlets to use similar depictions when referring to Depp's stormy 2-year marriage to actress Amber Heard, creating a PR headache for the studio. So now we're kind of seeing a little bit of what is Warner Brothers' reasoning here. So because they weren't waiting for him to lose to get rid of him, it looks like they were essentially like, well, he lost, and therefore it's going to create a PR nightmare, and we don't want to be associated with that nightmare because it's going to be really difficult, because now because he lost, other outlets can start using that and say and without any pushback because he lost. Now he's planning on appealing, so if that appeal goes through, then great, but that doesn't necessarily change anything. So essentially they're trying to cover their asses. Sources, it's kind of what I expected. It's kind of bullshit, but it goes against what J.K. Rowling was saying before, that it's about doing what's right and respecting the people involved. But here, they're clearly not respecting Johnny Depp, and just in that they're getting rid of him when he's planning on appealing and the court order is not over. 2, if they don't think he did it, and if what we've read so far is true about how skewed the court was, then they're not taking that into account at all. They're just taking into account what they're going to have to deal with from a PR standpoint, which is understandable, but don't go around saying that you care about doing what's right and standing by your decisions because you believe that that's what's right, and then change your mind at the drop of a hat because a court made a decision. Because guess what? A court doesn't decide the morality of something. A court is just the way is following the letters of the law, and believe it or not, laws aren't always morally correct, let alone the decisions being made by a judge are not necessarily going to be morally correct. I mean, people should probably be, if the judgment is as skewed as what is being described, because we'll get there. So if what people are describing is true, people probably should be quite angry with this judge. Not the lawyers are just doing their jobs, but the judge, we'll have to wait and see. So, sources tell The Hollywood Reporter that Warner's wanted to allow due process to take its course before making the decision on the embattled star's future in the franchise. Once Judge Andrew Nicole ruled that he accepted Heard's testimony, which was detailed and painted to picture a picture of Depp as an abuser, Emmerich's decision was a fait accompli, which, by the way, I looked up before we started. Fait accompli is a thing accomplished and presumably irreversible. And now you know. With the studio opting to recast the role less than midway through the franchise. Still, Warner Brothers will be on the hook for Depp's full salary, even though he only had shot one scene since production began on September 20th in London. Like many A-list stars, Depp has a so-called pay-or-play contract, which requires that he be fully compensated whether or not the film is made, and even if it is recast, as is common with stars of this level. This is a normal contract. There was no morality clause in his contract, even though it was amended with each new installment. Technically, Depp was not fired by Warner Brothers, but asked to resign. It is unclear what recourse it would have had if the star refused. So they said, "Hey, can you resign? This is going to be a pain in our asses." And Depp was like, "Yeah, sure, whatever, fine." Depp also is suing Heard for defamation in Virginia, in a case that likely would be disruptive to the Fantastic Beasts shooting schedule. Already thrown off course by the Covfefe, a judge recently ruled that Depp would have to appear in person for 3 consecutive days in November for an upcoming deposition. 3 days? That's long. In a November 6th Instagram post, Depp wrote, quote, "I'd like to thank everyone who has gifted me with their support and loyalty. I have been humbled and moved by your many messages and love and concerns, particularly over the last few days," end quote. But one source says that Fantastic Beasts writer J.K. Rowling, Depp's highest profile backer, did not push back on Warner Brothers' moves to cut the actor from the franchise. Rowling, who enjoys enormous sway in the studio because of her mega successful Harry Potter series, wrote in a December 2017 statement, quote, "Based on our understanding of the circumstances, the filmmakers and I are not only comfortable sticking with our original casting, but genuinely happy to have Johnny playing the major character in the movies." I think they pulled the wrong quote. I really think they should have been pulling the quote of Warner Brothers saying they want to have him in multiple films and J.K. Rowling talking about doing what's right. Well, the first 2 installments of Fantastic... Although, to be fair, if their main decision wasn't... if the main reason for the decision wasn't PR, which it appears to be, if their main reasoning was that he was not going to be available and they had had that conversation with him about his availability for filming, that would be totally reasonable. That I would buy that and be like, you know what? Fair enough. That makes complete sense. The guy's not going to be around. He's not going to be available. He's going to be busy with his lawsuit. He does not have time to do the filming. What we're going to do is we're going to rework his contract. We're going to recast him for Grindelwald in this one. We'll make him do that. He looks like somebody else the whole time in this film, like they did in the first film, and then bring him back for the 4th and 5th, or at least leave that on the table for when he's going to be available again. That would be a very, very good way to handle this, and don't even bring up the PR stuff. Don't even talk about that. Because it kind of makes you look like a dick. But if that were the case and that was the route they were taking, that would be 100% respectable. I get that. That makes complete sense to me. I'm not convinced that that is actually their main reasoning, but hey, it is what it is. Okay. Well, the first two installments of Fantastic Beasts franchise have collectively grossed more than $1.4 billion globally. The second chapter, Crimes of Grindelwald, declined from the first entry and took in $654 million. The third film is set for release on July 15th, 2022. That's after they moved it. The next Fantastic Beasts entry is described as a three-header with Depp, Jude Law, and Eddie Redmayne sharing equal screen time, but with the 8-figure salary, Depp is the highest earner of the three thanks to his box office track record that had been buoyed by the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. Disney has avoided weighing in definitively on the Depp matter by taking the next Pirates outing in a female-led direction, with a script being currently written by Birds of Prey scribe Christina Hodson and I'm trying to say Margaret, but that does not say Margaret. Margaret Robbie starring. There we go. Brain, please. Depp concluded his Instagram post with a promise that, quote, "My life and career will not be defined by this moment in time." But for now, he has lost out on perhaps his best opportunity to keep working in films made by the major studios, which are increasingly risk-adverse when it comes to #MeToo and domestic violence accusations. Even though... Oh, really? It's Margot? The T is silent? Oh, sorry, my mistake. Margot Robbie. Thank you. So, this is the thing. You should not take action just because somebody said something bad about somebody else. You shouldn't do that. Like, Johnny Depp does not deserve to have his roles taken away from him and his work taken away from him because somebody said something bad about him. Somebody who punched him in the face, by the way, and admitted to punching him in the face and hitting him with a door, by the way, is the person saying these bad things. This person also does not have a very good track record. This is super duper a case of do not stick your dick in crazy. Don't do it. And so the thing is that he's losing out on these. This is the thing that bothers me. This is the thing why I'm talking about this, why I'm doing so many streams on this, and why I want to follow the story a little bit more. Because she accused him of shit that has yet to be backed up, that she admitted that she was abusing him, which we played yesterday, and that he's losing out on jobs for, but she is losing nothing. Nothing. One, if you think both of them were just toxic and attacking each other, then either both of them need to lose their jobs or neither of them need to lose their jobs, depending on what your view is on that. If, beyond a shadow of a doubt, Amber Heard said she was hitting him, she punched him in the face. So if you think people who perpetuate or are abusers or who hit their significant other in the face should lose their jobs, if you're of that opinion, Amber Heard should be losing her job. The fact that they're so concerned about the PR nightmare around Johnny Depp and not being concerned in any way with the PR nightmare that's going to and should be following Amber Heard right now, because that's what's happening. That is absolutely what's happening, and that's what should be happening. Me Too is across the board. Just because you're a woman doesn't mean that you can't hit somebody. Just because you're a woman doesn't mean you can't be an abuser. We've seen, just here on YouTube, in our small little community, we have seen women and men who are narcissistic manipulators, who constantly are pointing fingers and blame at other people, saying that, oh, well, they did this, oh, well, they did that. Well, they're doing that thing. This is the same thing. It's just on a grander scale. Because, you know, we're just one little pocket of the internet. We're just like one little group of people that are like, this is some bullshit. Yes, no, this was not proven by law at all. This case was dropped by them. I recommend you go watch our video from previous, and I'm going to be going over the court documents in the future. It's the double standard that bothers me. Just because he's a man and just because she's a woman, they're getting treated differently. He's being treated as some kind of monster and some kind of PR nightmare where he needs to be blacklisted, like he's, as if he's, what's that guy's name? My brain. No, the one that was like no. What was his name? Oh god. The producer. My brain. I'm looking at his face right now. What the hell is this guy's name? Weinstein. Harvey Weinstein. Johnny Depp is no Weinstein. He doesn't, there's the evidence is stacked in his favor, and he's still losing because he's a man. At least that's what it appears. We're going to look at the court records so we can make that determination. But that is what the reporting has said so far. That's what the reporting has said so far. So you take the genders out of it, and you tell me, right now what we've got is a person saying that is being accused of domestic abuse, saying, I did not do that, and there is evidence backing him up, including police records and medical records. And there is a person that admitted to punching this other person in the face, making the accusations. You tell me which one should be the PR nightmare, and you tell me which one should be at risk of losing their job right now. Jobs, plural. Who's the one who should be facing being blacklisted from their working communities? Take the genders out. You tell me. So, we will be back on Thursday when I will start going through the litigation. It's long. It's going to take more than one stream to go through. Currently for non sequitur, we are waiting for the judge to make a decision. As soon as the date for that, for the contempt hearing comes out, I will begin reading through all of the litigation of the non sequitur case from the beginning so we can see where we were and where we're at. Depending on how early that contempt hearing is, will depend on whether or not I get through it beforehand. I will do my best to try and get through it beforehand. And also, while I'm at it today, there is a video that I am working on. It's super secret. I'm not going to tell you yet, but it's going to be funny, but it's not going to be live. It's going to be a video. So I got to go finish the script for that. I already got all my screenshots together. Ooh, it's a spicy one. Also, Tina Alcucciu is starting her own channel. Once that is available, links will be there. And also, Tiny Dancer recently just released a video over on her channel that you should go check out that has a lot of screenshots. She was friends with Katie Joy back in the day, and so there's some interesting stuff over on her channel if you're interested in following the Katie Joy stuff. So that is it for me. I will add this last one that I just read. Oh, wait, I'm not done. Oh, there's another little blurb. Oh, no, this is something else. Never mind. This is a different article. God, why would they do that? Okay, well, anyway. We'll, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. If Steve gets to 18K and I get to 3K subscribers, we'll be doing some community gaming, and that's gonna be hilarious, and we're all gonna gang up on Steve, and it's gonna be fun. We'll bully him. Alright. If you want to look more into this, go find it on Twitter, go find it on Reddit. It is all over the place. And you tell me in the comments what you think. Do you think this is fair? Who do you think should be what? What are you thinking? What do you think would be fair? How do you think this should be being handled? But that's it for me. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, all that fun crap, whatever. I'll see you guys on Thursday. Bye.